Do you get really nervous going into a game to the point where you feel like it lowers your level of performance? Well, in this video, you're going to learn 6 ways that you can calm your nerves before a game. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental game coach and founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. Nerves are not always bad as an athlete, but when you're experiencing nervousness before a game, you want to learn how you can calm these nerves before a game if you feel like they are lowering your levels of play. So tip number 1 is you want to accept your nervousness. So right off the bat, we're going to go with one that seems really confusing. Why would you want to accept something that you're trying to reduce? Well, the reason comes down to the idea of focus. When you are resisting the nerves you feel before a game, what's happening? You're still focusing on that nervousness. So instead, you want to accept your nerves. Bring your mind onto something else. Stop worrying so much about trying to get rid of the nerves. Say, okay, I accept the nerves are there. Yes, I am nervous. Now what? Then now what is what we're going to talk about for these next 5 tips. But tip number 1 that you have to use before you can make these other 5 tips actually be impactful in calming your nerves before a game is you want to make sure that you accept your nervousness. Tip number 2 is to prepare. The more prepared you are, the more confident you're going to be as an athlete. The more confident you're going to be, the less nervous you're going to feel. When this nervousness leads to lower levels of performance, it's typically a result of you experiencing something known as sports performance anxiety. When you can be more prepared, that's going to help reduce that sports anxiety to where you're feeling more confident, more ready to go. You know, hey, I've done all I can to prepare for this game, so I'm just going to relax into my confidence, and that's going to help reduce your nerves. Tip number 3 is to remember past successes. A major theme to reducing your nerves or calming your nerves before a game is to work on boosting confidence. The first tip I said was to accept your nerves. That's because in that moment, you need to accept that your nerves are there. But then the next part is what can you do to build your confidence, because confidence is one of the best things that's going to reduce your nerves. So for this tip, remembering past successes, what you can do is just in your mind before the game begins, replay all those past really good games you've had. Go over those really good plays you've had or scores that you've made. Just remember past successes, and that's going to increase your confidence and reduce your nerves going into a game. Tip number 4 is to practice gratitude. The more grateful you are, the less anxious you're going to feel going into a game. Now, right before a game begins, and you're feeling really nervous and you really want to perform well, you just are thinking, I've got to do well today, I can't mess up. In that moment, it's very difficult to feel gratitude. But what are you grateful for right there? Are you grateful for the opportunity to play? Are you grateful for your teammates? Are you grateful for the beautiful day you have to compete? Are you grateful for the fact that you're playing in college or you're playing professionally or you made it on your high school varsity team? There's always something to be grateful for. And before a game, if you're wanting to reduce your nerves, if you can focus on gratitude, that's going to help you be less nervous. Tip number 5 is turn to your breath. When you get nervous before a game, what happens to your heart rate? It starts to beat really fast, right? It increases. So if you want to reduce your nerves, you can work to calm your breath. Slow down your heart rate, bring yourself more into this present moment. So when you want to turn to your breath, a really good thing you can use is something known as count breathing. With count breathing before a game, you're going to simply count your inhales and exhales and make it very rhythmic. A good example of this is some box breathing. Box breathing involves breathing in for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, and then breathing out for a count of 4. If you do that going into a game, that's going to help you reduce that nervousness. And the last tip, tip number 6, is to give yourself a focus point. Now, a focus point is something you're going to place your attention on as you go into a game. When you think about the true cause of your nervousness, what comes to mind? Well, if you're going into a game and you're nervous, likely you're nervous about playing well. You're nervous about what's going to happen if you don't play well. Typically, it has to do with the outcome. When you're focused more on the outcome, you're going to experience more nerves and more anxiety in sports. So to reduce that, you can give yourself a focus point that's not based on the outcome, that's based more on the process. These are known as process goals or performance objectives. So think for yourself, what do I need to focus on as I go throughout this game? Maybe on the mental side and then also on the physical side. That's going to help me, number one, perform my best, but then is also going to help me keep my attention focused in this present moment. So use those 6 tips to help calm your nerves going into a game. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new trainings each week on sports psychology and the mental game. If you have any questions about this training or any sports psychology topic, please leave a comment below. If you want to learn more about myself or Success Starts Within, head over to successstartswithin.com.